We're alive. How you loving? We're alive. We are live, baby. We are live. Live, family, live. How you loving? 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 I'm back in Miami. Well, I shouldn't say back in Miami. I'm saying I'm in Miami, not back in Miami. How you loving? Okay, love tubers. I see that the love is already popping, 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 popping. Woo! It's gonna be a spicy one today, family. I even have a couple of notes. It's gonna be a spicy one today. This is gonna be a spicy one. Mwah. Hey, Linda, how you loving? Linda, did you go ahead and download the book? So, family, for all, pardon me, let me begin at the beginning. I am Reverend Valerie Love. You are on Valerie Love TV. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am, as they say, the divine midwife of soul destiny, Christian Witcher, the author of 19 books, soon to be 20, on practical spirituality. You're on Valerie Love TV. And if you want to get into all the deliciousness, it's over at ValerieLove.com. So hop on over. First of all, first of all, family, Spell Crafting for the Christian Witch, the second book in three-part series, is out. OMG. Hi. Oh, first time live. Come on, come on, come on. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? Ooh, look at all the family members. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. So, Spell Crafting for the Christian Witch is now live, out. Soon the hardcover is coming. It is out on ebook and paperback. And soon I'm going to reveal the hardcover. This one has a hardcover. OMG, this one has a hardcover. So that's the second book in the series on Christian witchcraft. How you loving? How you loving? Oh, look at our family. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? So if you are a member on the YouTube channel, that means that you are a member for $4.99 per month. There is a perk for you. And one of the perks of being a member of the YouTube channel, Valerie Love TV, is that you receive a gift. Oh, I'm in the process of writing. Yes, I love it. I love it. I have a gift for you. You receive a gift of my new books as they're released in ebook form so that you can read it in advance of everyone else and prayerfully, hopefully, lovingly leave a review. Leave a review. Leave a review. I'm coming through the device right now. Leave a review. A review. We love reviews. We love reviews. We love reviews. They help the author and they help would-be buyers of the book. Hey, Darla, how you loving? How you loving? How you loving? Look at my love tubers. I love you. I love you. I love you. So happy with you Wednesday. Just returned 2 days ago from a little over 2 weeks in Sedona. 2 glorious weeks. Money in the vortex, money in the vortex, money in the vortex. Money in the vortex, baby. Thank you. Mwah. Billionfold return to your super chat on YouTube. Throwing money in the vortex. Love it, love it, love it. That's on YouTube if you'd like to support the channel. Now, a couple of days ago, just returned from Sedona, Arizona. Incredible. 2 retreats. We had 2 retreats in Sedona, Arizona. So the 1st to the 5th, we were there with the mystery school. Oh my goodness, the initiates in the mystery school. Incredible, incredible, incredible. We only have, I think, one space left to be initiated with this class on the fall equinox. So go to christianwitches.com and click on initiation, programs and initiation, so that you can find out all about it. Next, after we had the 1st to the 5th, with the Christian Witches initiates in the Christian Witches Mystery School, the next weekend, the 12th and 13th, was Epic Manifestation. It was so good. Oh my goodness. Both of them were so good. We got incredible pictures, incredible vids, incredible experiences, loving on each other. doing our curriculum, growing in destiny. Magnificent, magnificent, magnificent. All of us left with your 2021 clarity on what you're to be doing, how you're to be doing it. And many of them at Epic Manifestation also left with game plans in place, as well as accountability to be sure you take these lovely steps for your Epic Manifestation in 2021. So, as a coach and as a teacher, I understand that. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Go through. I love this comment. Let's put it up on the screen. You truly help remove fear and help have others push forward to accomplishment. I love that. I love that. I love that because really, if we don't take the action, we're not going to get the win, right? And I want you to get your win, family. I want you to get your win. So we have just had the most amazing experiences. Okay, oh, we were in your backyard. How you enjoyed Sedona. Oh my goodness. Sedona, I've been going there every year for the last 8, 9, 10 years. I've got to go and look at my records to see the exact first time I ever went to Sedona, which I talked about it right here on the channel. However, Sedona, as always, magical, mystical, amazing. All of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. Oh, so amazing. So amazing. Kathy. Oh, thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. By the way, family, as I was getting ready for today, I put on this robe that I got from, I know they don't call it a robe, so please forgive me to all the Islamic beautiful women in the Middle East. I got this from Dubai, and this is what the women actually wear, and it goes all the way to the floor. It is exquisitely beautiful, and I desired it. Not cultural appropriation, I promise you. I'm not Islamic, yet I just loved how the women looked. Oh, so beautiful. So I asked if I could, and one of the men there actually dressed me. And after he dressed me, head wrap and everything, wrapped exactly like they do in Dubai. He said, "You look just like Arabic lady. You look just like Arabic lady." Thank you. Thank you for helping me look like an Arabic lady. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, oh my goodness. Okay, just wow. Get us king sign up. Yes, it's support. Yes, Thomas. Yes, we love men. We love men. We love men. Absolutely. We have brothers that come with us. We have brothers in our community. You'll see brothers at our events. Absolutely. Go to ValerieLove.com. Right now, today, we just put up the information about Peru, the Peru plant medicine experience. So in a few months, we'll be in Peru. Of course, the Christian Witches Convention is coming up in April in Salem. So that's our next big thing. That's our next big thing. Spring, April. Meet us in Salem. Meet us in Salem. Meet us in Salem. We'll be in Salem. So now let's talk about the conversation for today. Jesus' twin brother. You are in the Forbidden Knowledge series. Now, why do we call this forbidden knowledge? We don't call it forbidden knowledge because you can't know it. And we don't call it secret, ancient secrets and mysteries because they can't be known. We call it forbidden knowledge because this is the information that church and organized religion would have never told you. And indeed would be hopeful that you never find out. Why? Because it puts cracks in the story as it was given to us. Now, if we are just now meeting, not first now meeting, if we're new to each other, I grew up in fundamentalist Christianity, which is the 26 years I spent in the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses from age 4 to age 30. Now, my soul called me out of that experience because it was stifling my soul, such that I went into a very deep depression, almost took myself out with a bottle of pills. I have a whole playlist about that here on the channel. and how I made my exit. In addition to that, I wrote a book about it called Confessions of a Christian Witch, how an ex-Jehovah's Witness summons the courage to live magical and how you can too. So I'm only here to share with you my journey. I can't tell you what to do. That's not my job. I am an ordained minister, and I'm not here to tell anybody what to do or think. Religion does not teach you how to think. It teaches you, gives you what to think. So they just put all your beliefs on a platter and just hand it to you. And that was the experience that I had. They put all my beliefs on a platter and they handed it to me. This is what you believe. It is okay. And I just went with the program because, I mean, at 3 or 4, what are you going to do? The people that are giving you this story are feeding you. So it's not like I could say at 4, this doesn't smell right. This doesn't sit right in my system. Intuitively, I'm knowing that there's a whole lot more to the story than this. It doesn't quite feel right. You know when something doesn't quite feel right. Right? And you know when something ding, 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 ding lights up your soul. It wasn't lighting up my soul. Like, is there more? Is there more? And I kept looking for the more. I couldn't find it in the fundamentalist Christianity story that I received. So I went looking. Oh, thank you so much, Icy. Mwah. Icy, one of our incredible initiates in the mystery school. Okay, so if you're anything like me, I wanted to know the whole story. I wanted to know what else is there. I'll tell you a story. Do you remember that movie Men in Black? I'm sure everybody remembers that movie Men in Black, right? Y'all know that story, Men in Black. There's a very interesting thing that occurs in the movie Men in Black. So do you remember the Will Smith character? And we also remember the character of the one who is mentoring Will Smith, the older gentleman. What's his name? I think one was Q and one was K or whatever, because they only had the first initial because they couldn't divulge the secrets, right? Well, the mentor had Will Smith at his house one day. This was, I think, in the third movie. And the mentor pushed a button in his house and this whole wall moved. Do y'all remember this scene in the movie? The whole wall moved, and then there were all these weapons that the Will Smith character had just never seen for fighting, aliens and getting aliens back to where they belong and not threatening humanity and helping humanity forget and all these kinds of things, when they had these experiences, because according to the story, humanity couldn't handle that there were other beings on the planet. Now the extraterrestrials have already landed here. They were here long before us. However, and you can read all about the Anunnaki and all of these different things. However, we do not go off on a tangent, digress. He pulled back the wall and there was this entire collection of things that the Will Smith character had never seen before. And he's like, what? How come you didn't tell me about all this? He said, he's all shocked that this wasn't divulged to him before. And the mentor character said to him, I promised you the secrets to the universe and nothing more. And then he looked around real shifty, and Will Smith was like, well, what more is there? I was like the Will Smith character. Do y'all remember that in the movie? I promised you the secrets to the universe and nothing more. Well, wait a minute. I'm not getting the whole deal here. That's where I was in the whole Christian experience paradigm. It wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. I mean, I loved the fellowship. When I went older, I went exploring other religions still in the Christian paradigm. And I saw the Baptist people and how they were worshiping. Oh, it was fun. It was, oh, wow, it's energizing. I went to the evangelical people, and then I went to the non-denominational church, and I went to the Catholic church. I mean, it was beautiful. All of it was just beautiful, right? But I was still looking, and I couldn't even tell you what I was looking for. I only knew that I was on the hero's quest, that I still haven't found all of it yet. That's the beauty of the hero's quest. That's the beauty of being on the journey of the soul. It doesn't end until you become God. So, okay. So I was not getting all of the answers, and I knew I wasn't getting all of the answers. And I also knew, maybe like you felt, going to church or sitting in church is beautiful. It's lovely. You love your mama and your daddy and all the people that are in church and the pastor and all that. This is not about hating religion, and this is not about poo-pooing on churches. This is not about that. This is about, there's something more. and I promised you to the secrets to the universe and everything more. That's what Spirit said to us, right? So you are to go and study all these things. And the first thing that you know that you are to study is the very thing they tell you never touch. Now, if they tell you don't touch it, if it's forbidden, go straight to it. Because I promise you, there's going to be some nuggets and secrets and truth morsels in that thing that you are going to start to unravel the picture. Now, what does all this mean? This means that Christianity, the way it was given to us, was we already came to the conclusion, probably most of us here, if you're watching this, that Christianity as it exists in church right now was not what Christ was doing when he was on the planet. Now, you probably have already intuited into that because you already know that some Christians, not all by any means, some Christians can be judgmental. Some Christians, they call you names. If you're sleeping around with people, you're backsliding. Jesus never used the word backsliding, so I don't even know where people got that from. You're backsliding. Jesus never said that. He never said that. Matter of fact, Jesus never said a lot of the things that you hear people say in church. Just never said it. Even if you only go by the 4 canonical gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, even if you just go by those 4, you will find that just read that. If that's all you want to read, you can just stop right there. Read that these entire 4 accounts, and you will look at that, and then look at the Christian church and say, how did they get all of this from this? There wasn't no bishops. There wasn't no people wearing pointy hats. There wasn't no robes. I mean, robes other than what they wore. Jesus was a regular person who was extraordinary, doing extraordinary things. And so, and of course, they made him out to be the Son of God. And of course, he had extraordinary powers that he was able to tap into. And he became a fully realized being, no different than you or anyone else. No different. He realized his full God potential. And that's what all of us are here to do. So now, if they want to take the story and make it that Jesus is the Son of God, they wanted to give him an elevation. Okay, so yes, he was born to a woman who was also quite extraordinary and had extraordinary supernatural powers. They never talked about Mary's extraordinary supernatural powers, but I certainly talk about that she was raised in the temple and only spoke, pretty much communed mostly with angels. And they say she didn't even eat human food. She ate the food of angels. Okay, so Jesus didn't just pop through an unaware virgin, as they would have you believe, that there was just this random unaware virgin who was so pious and wonderful, and she was just beautiful and so clean and holy, and God said, well, I pick her. But they did not tell you that her mother and father were also supernatural beings who had a supernatural miraculous birth, even of Mary, because her parents could not have children. But they didn't tell you that part of the story. So I just want to know, all of it, and then I can draw my own conclusions, and I feel that that's why I share it. I'm not telling you what to think of any of these things. I'm sharing it with you in the hopes that we are all inspired to search and seek for truth. Christ said, ask and you'll be answered. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. What does that intimate? It intimates or it connotes that we, and denotes that we must go on our own active search for our soul's unfoldment, that you can't just sit in the church and let the pastor and everybody just spoon feed you with a cookie cutter approach to God called religion. I mean, I have no problem with religion. A lot of people need religion. And that's one of the things that Spirit said to me. Spirit said to me that you don't, no. People, I was like, oh, I'm so glad to be out of the box of religion. And Spirit said, some people need that box. Literally, I heard it say that in my ear, that some people do need that. And if you need it, you need it. It's just like when people are 2, they need diapers. When you turn 5, you probably don't. We are expected to elevate and grow, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. That we're meant to ascend. We are meant to become more. We're not meant to sit in a church and stay there for 40 years, though I know many people that do it. And I have no judgment on it because that was their path. They chose, I chose, you choose. Everyone chooses, no judgment, no right or wrong. So, what we are here to do on this channel is we're here to enlighten so that what? So that this becomes a catalyst for your own soul's unfoldment, you unfolding your destiny, your spirituality, your true divine potential in nature, and then you become God. That's what it's about. Want to come? Want to come along on the journey? So, here is the deal. Jesus had a twin brother. What? Yes. Now, where did this information come from? Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Where did this information come from? So let's talk about it. This Thomas, who is also named Judas Didymus Thomas, and what does his name mean, Didymus, in Greek? Means twin. His name in Aramaic means twin. So we look at the Aramaic meaning of his name, it means twin. And then when it was Aramaic was the language of Christ, right? Ancient Aramaic. And when the Aramaic was translated into Greek, they translated into Didymus, Didymus, which means twin. Okay, twin. Now, we did hear this growing up in Christianity. I heard growing up in Christianity that there was a twin. We heard Thomas the twin or whatever, or Judas the twin. And they told us that this meant twin. This twin word was used to convey that you want to be just like Christ and you could be Christ's twin brother. Okay. Yet that's not what it says when you read these very ancient manuscripts. One of the oldest, dating back to 140 AD. 140. 140 AD is a very old manuscript, according to manuscripts that we have, because some of them came from, the 5th century, 6th century, and on. But manuscripts that they're pulling out of the ground in this 20th century, well, we're in the 21st century, in the 20th century, in the 1900s, middle 1900s, they started pulling many of these manuscripts from archaeological digs and find these ancient manuscripts that date all the way back to, 2nd, 3rd century AD, Anno Domini, in the year of our Lord, which means after Christ was born. What is going on here with these old ancient manuscripts that they're pulling out of the ground? Well, when they pull out these old ancient manuscripts, what they're showing you is what early Christian people believed. Now, let's go back even further. After Christ moved off the scene, right, being killed or whatever the case may be, there were many different sects of Christianity. It wasn't just one big Christian religion, one Christian church. No. There was not. There were the Essenes. There were the Gnostics. There were people that were strands that were following Christ. There were strands that were following Paul. There were strands, and it was scraggly. It was a scraggly movement. It was a movement. It was real scraggly. It was like a grassroots kind of movement. This was not by far any kind of established religion whatsoever. Just go back and study the history of these things. And I don't think that anyone should be ignorant of these things, because this is, after all, if you're a Christian, this is your religion. It would be good to study the roots of it. And if you're not a Christian, if you're interested in spirituality, it's beautiful to study that as well. And if you're of other religions, it's still beautiful to study, because I love studying all of the ancient religions, mysteries, and all these things. So Christianity was, in the 1st century, was nothing like what you have right now, right? So it was this unfoldment. Okay, let's look at some of these comments. Okay, Jesus, let me look. Oh, Black Sign children, saith the Lord. I am okay, aunties. Okay, thank you, Jeremiah. You said Jesus never said the word backslide. It's not even in the Bible. Oh, okay. Very good. Thank you very much for this clarification. I did not say that it's not in the Bible. Rewind this video. I said Jesus didn't say it. Now, I didn't say it wasn't in the Bible. Now, let's go a little deeper. And I like that you brought this forward, because here's another thing that we want to understand. What is the Bible? So I like this discussion, and that the fact that you brought that forward. What is the Bible? People believe, let me bring my Bible over here to you so that we can talk about this. This is one of my Bibles that I travel with all over the world. And it's one of my favorite Bibles. I have probably about 20 Bibles, okay? Yes, I used to take this with me to church because I'm a Christian witch. Okay, now let's pull out the Bible and let's talk about it. So in the, back in the day, the Bible used to be the keeping place of a lot of things like records and all those things, which I do use that for my Bible, for this Bible as well. So let's talk about, and also prayer beads as well. This Bible's just charged up. Let me just say that. What is this? Is this one book? No, this is not one book. This is 66 books, as we know, 66 books that were pulled together. And how were these exact 66 books pulled together? They were not pulled together by accident. These 66 books were pulled together by a design. And they say this is the infallible word of God. Well, is it? I'm here to ask questions. So when you read the Bible, do not think that you're reading one continuous story as they put it to us, because that is not how this thing came to be. And it's very easy to just find that information out by doing some research. How did these books get cobbled together? They all got cobbled together in a council, right? Council of Nicaea, where they started to determine, humans, by the way, humans, not God. They started to parse out which were the canonical books and which were spurious. Now we're going to throw these out. Who gave them the authority to do that? Took it upon themselves. And many bishops took it upon themselves to burn books. They burned books of the Maya. They burned anything that didn't agree with the narrative. Does that sound like what's happening on YouTube and Facebook right now with regard to the narrative about what's going on the planet right now? But I digress. Let's go back. So this is not one book. Now, I love this. No problem with the Bible. I got no problem with the Bible. I have problem with the narratives, the doctrines, and the dogma that has been associated with this book that really has nothing to do with this book whatsoever. If you read this entire book, if you were on a desert island and you read this entire book and you never went to a church in your life, you would not have come to most of the conclusions that they've taught us in church. You just wouldn't have. Now, we must understand then that since this is not one continuous story from end to end, and we also must understand that this book has been translated, these books have been translated over and over and over and over and over and over by hand, written by scribes. So if you have the word backsliding in the Bible, I just want to share something with you. That word would not have existed in the time of Jesus. That's not a word that ancient people would have used, is more the essence of what I'm speaking to. Yes? The essence of Christianity today is not what ancient people did thousands of years ago. And how do we know? Because we can go back and we can study. We can peer into ancient history, right? We can study the translations of the Bible. We can study the ancient manuscripts. And we must undertake this study in a way that you got to take off your Christian glasses for a minute and set it to the side, because if you study this with your Christian glasses, you're going to always find what you're looking for. That is how the human mind works. We only find what we're looking for. So if you continually look for something, you're going to find it. whatever you're looking for. So if you're looking for your doctrine to be right and true, that's what you're going to find. You're going to find proof for it. And if you're looking with an open mind so that you can understand and reach truth, that's what you're going to find. Christ said in the Gospel of Thomas, one of the books that we're going to talk about today, I read all of them. I read the Gospel of Thomas, the Infancy Gospel of Thomas, Gospel of Judas, Gospel of Mary Magdalene. There's nothing off limits to me because my Father, Mother, God didn't tell me that those things were off limit to me. God told me, seek and you shall find. Ask and you will be answered. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. That I must become an active seeker, and not from the place of always seeking, seeking, seeking and never finding. Not from that place. I must be the initiator of my own evolution. Right? There's something that we're called to do. Not just supposed to sit here and just let it all happen. Maybe you are called to be a proactive, active participant with this great universe in your own unfoldment. Okay? That's what you're called to do. Will you take on the call? Will you answer the call? Now, let's go further. So, there's one other thing I want to say about this beautiful book, the Holy Bible, of which I have many, a huge collection. And trust me, I'm a witch that wouldn't live without the Bible. I just wouldn't. If there was one thing I was going to take with me on a desert island, it would be a Bible. Believe it or not, it would be a Bible, not a magic wand. I would take a Bible with me now and just read it over and over and over again and just be marveled. Now, what is the Bible? A Kabbalistic teacher put it perfectly. He defined what the Bible is. Let's have a discussion about what the Bible is. What is the Bible? The Bible, I'm going to quote him verbatim. This is from David Guillaume, and you can find him at the Kabbalah Center. The Bible is a manual of energy, teaching the DNA of energy and how energy works. I'm going to say that again because it's so profound. You see, you're not supposed to be taking this thing literally word for word. That will make you a zealot and thus very dangerous. I don't have a dogma. I don't have beliefs. I'm seeking to rid myself of all beliefs, to tell you the honest truth. I don't really want to believe anything. I want to know truth. This is a manual of energy teaching us the DNA of energy and how to use it. Wow. And according to the Kabbalists, not one word in here is literal. Not one. When it says goat, what is it talking about? It's talking about an energy. When it says the sea, what is it talking about? It's talking about an energy. I'm talking about Yemaya in the Bible. What? You'll see it if you drop the scales from your eyes. And if you really want to see. I'm not here to argue with anyone. Like I said, I'm not here to give you your beliefs. I'm here to support. I'm here to share what I learned. Make of it what you will. You're grown. You're God. Ye are gods. So it's showing us, it's a manual of energy, showing us the DNA of energy, teaching the DNA of energy and what energy really is and how to use that energy. It's an energy handbook. Not one word in the Bible is literal. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. How many Christians have we said? Man, let me tell you something. If I had a nickel every time a Christian said that, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. I would I would still be talking to you because it's my soul urge. I would be coming to you from the Valerie Island right now. I would have already bought an island just from how many people have said, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. And then what? I mean, people take these things, and it's very ignorant at this point because you can look it up. You can look it up and you can find the reason for these words, what these words meant back then when they were written down. The same thing don't mean the same thing now that it meant 2,000 years ago. If you had told somebody 5,000 years ago, Google it, what would they have said? They would have looked at you like, what's Google? If you had told someone 200, 1,000 years ago, even the web, a spider web? No, the web. On what? A computer. What's a computer? It's a box, and we have keyboards on it, and you look crazy right now. They're like, okay, you had a little too much of the beer that we make from the hops. Language changes, people change, culture changes. God does not change. So, how are you going to be able to understand what it really means if this stuff keeps changing? It's going to change again in another 2,000 years. I promise you, 1,000 years from now, someone will look at this video that I'm talking about and they will say, what is she talking about? They will look at web and internet. What's that? Because it will have morphed into something else and will morph into something else yet again. So, therefore, if you are looking at these books as being the factual word of God, word by word, and you're reading it on a word level, oh, you're missing the boat. Ooh, you're missing the boat. You're missing the boat. Why? Because words are not it, words are the pointers to it. Please understand, family. We desire to elevate our consciousness and not have an elementary consciousness, right, family? We desire to elevate. Let me become an adult spiritually. Let me ascend, right, by knowing, spiritual knowing. And let me become a greater expression of God. We're called to elevate. We're called to be spiritual giants. So let's talk about this twin brother. So we established kind of understanding what the Bible is, understanding that we ourselves need to undertake. Let's do a little recap because I'm a teacher by nature. So let's just do a little recap. We understand that the Bible is not a literal book. Next, we understand that the Bible is not one book, there are many books. Next, we also understand that there are many books that were not included in the canon because men, human beings, decided what you should read and what you should not read. Well, nobody's going to decide for me what I should read or not read. I'm going to read it all. I'm going to read whatever I am led to read. I'm not afraid. The Bible says, fear not. That's what God says, fear not. Next, we also understand that things change, cultures change, times change, language changes. We also understand that the narrative that we were given, according to Christians, is not exactly how it happened. We also understand, let's go a little further, that there was a reason for shaping the narrative. I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means. I just don't go there. I'm not interested in a bunch of conspiracies. I'm interested, as I said, I'm committed to truth. But this is what I do know, that if people want to use this to get a hold of your mind and keep it controlled, they can do it. Look at the movie, The Book of Eli. Who saw The Book of Eli? Look at that movie. Who saw The Book of Eli? You see, and in the Book of Eli, why did they want to get the book? They wanted to get the book. Why did this particular character want to get the book? Because he knew with the book, I need the words. Because then he knew he could rule all the people with the words. Put on a big robe and a big pointy hat, you can rule people. You can rule people with the words, especially if people do not have the word and they do not have the power of the word. Ooh, a power God gave to everyone, whether you can read or not read. You have the power of the word inside your soul. Okay, let's go further. Delicious. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Okay. Oh, Linda, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Now, let's go even further. And family, this is one thing I want to say about what this whole all of this means. I don't care if you agree with me or don't. I'm not seeking agreement. I don't care about agreement. The Bible doesn't say agree on everything. The word says seek peace with all men. That's what I seek. Seek peace. And men is a blanket word that means humanity. Seek peace with all. That's all I do because I seek peace within myself. And I come in peace and love and joy. And I'm sent by Mother, Father, God to deliver these messages. I'm just a message bearer. Don't shoot the messenger because you don't like the message. That's on you, boo. You were told, now go study it for yourself. Now, let's go further. So, Thomas, who was he? Well, according to what we were told about Thomas, he was doubting Thomas. And that's what they told us. They told us that Christ appeared to them in a closed room in Jerusalem, right? This is part of the story. And he appeared after his death. And he was there in human form. He had taken on a human form after his death, before the actual his ascension to heaven, which happened 40 days after his death, right? He's standing up on the top of the mountain. And they tell us that Thomas was in the room. And they tell us in one of the books says that Thomas did not believe. Now, all four of these canonical books do not say the same thing. They all four say something different. They all four give you a different flavor of the story. And if you compare it, you will see that the four are saying four different things. Yet, there are elements that are very much aligned, right? So we won't nitpick at the details of the story, because if you look at the details of the story, they're all four different. So Thomas supposedly was the one who in the room said, I don't believe, and I won't believe until you show me, until I see the hole in your side where he was pierced by the Roman guards, right? Pierced in the side and blood and water ran out. I will not believe until I see the holes in the hands where he was pierced to the tree. And I will not believe until I see the hole in the side. And Christ showed him the hole. And when he put his hand in it, supposedly, now I believe. So it would be very feasible that if someone wanted to discredit someone, they would make them appear to be doubting, to obscure some things that really happened. Now, let's look at 6 books. And I want you to look up these, or 5 books. Actually, there are 6. I want you to look up these 6 books. Number 1, the Gospel of Thomas. I want you to read that. I'll just give you a little bit of homework, if that's okay. Read the Gospel of Thomas. Read the Infancy Gospel of Thomas, which we talked about in Jesus' childhood. We talked about that here on the channel last week, somewhere in this series on Forbidden Knowledge. Read the Acts of Thomas, which I'm going to read. I haven't gotten to that one yet. The Book of Thomas the Contender, the Revelation of Thomas, and even Psalms of Thomas. Now, let me ask you a question. All of these writings from Thomas, that should perk your head up, because we don't have all these writings from all of them. We don't have all these writings from Luke. Luke wasn't even an apostle. Luke didn't even live when Christ lived. Luke came much further down the line, about 70 years later. Luke didn't write this down when it happened. None of this got written down when it happened. It was all being written down over time, much time, and many of it was not written down by the people that were actually with him. So now, you have all of these books attributed to Thomas. There's something here. There's something we need to look at. Now, here's where the story gets even better, boys and girls. Thomas apparently went far and wide with the gospel. What did Thomas do? Thomas went over to the east first he was shipwrecked right there around where Yemen is, just northeast of, in that Horn of Africa area right there. They say he was shipwrecked there. And while he was shipwrecked there, he saw the king, who would have been the king of now Iran, Iraq, that whole area right there. That's who he would have, they were called that back then. Of course, he would have been the king of that region. And supposedly Thomas talked to him and convinced the man to become a believer, not Christian, because Christian had not been invented yet. Convinced the king to consider this new theology, this new way of looking at the world. Then and he did, and the people loved it. And he was talking about Christ, and he was talking about all the things Christ talked about, being one with God, about all about the things Christ taught. Okay. Then Thomas went to India. Did they ever tell you that he went to India, that any of the apostles went to India? Maybe, maybe not. Thomas went to India. Now, this was pretty eye-opening for me, because the very exact spot that Thomas went to in India, I myself visited. Little did I know I was standing in the very same land where Thomas himself, the twin brother of Jesus, stood. I can, with documentation. I couldn't believe it. No, it's documentation. Well, when I went to India, I flew into Chennai, which is the southern part of India. I never saw the Taj Mahal yet. I have a 10-year visa to Egypt. I mean, not Egypt, India, so I can go back and forth anytime I want to. And as soon as Spirit calls me back there, I'll go back again. I didn't go to the Taj Mahal. I did not go to Jakarta, not Jakarta. What's the other parts of India that are more further north? I didn't go to any of these major places in India. I didn't go to those places. I went to Chennai. And from Chennai, Chennai, huge airport in India, in Chennai. Went from Chennai and they picked me up and we went to the ashrams, right? To the retreat centers where we were having our retreats. And then we visited several temples with Dr. Pillai. According to the documentation, I was standing in the exact same land of Jesus' twin brother, Thomas. Mind blowing. And you want to know something very fascinating about this? I always wondered what took me to India. And it was like, I knew why I went to India when I was going. I was going to India. This was in 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. I was going to India. Don't quote me on the time, but we do have the videos here on the YouTube channel. I was going to India for Dr. Pillai. And Dr. Pillai is this incredible teacher on wealth. To tell you the honest truth, I was going because I love Dr. Pillai's teachings on wealth. And that's what really drew me into him, right? And Brazil and the Brazil chant and all these things that Dr. Pillai teaches, he's just incredible. Well, when I was going to India, they told us that we were flying into Chennai. And I was like, I was kind of like nonplussed about that. Why? Because I wanted to go to the more, exotic parts of India that people talk about and all that kind of stuff. But that wasn't where Spirit took me. So I get to India, I get to Chennai, and it's, very interesting. Today, I tell you, family, when I was doing more of my research today so that I could speak with you with intelligence and heart and integrity, that's when I put together another piece of the puzzle about why Spirit took me to Chennai, that I was standing on the land of Christ's twin brother, Thomas. Mm, mm, mm. Now, here's another piece of the puzzle that is very fascinating. How did we get all of this intimate detail and information about Jesus' childhood? Who else would have been the one to be able to give you all of these details? Mary didn't write it. Joseph didn't write it. It's the infancy gospel of Thomas. It would make sense that it had to be a person that was very close to him and that was watching all these things and seeing all these things, because all these things that he wrote out in the infancy gospel of Thomas, which we have talked about the childhood of Jesus, and there's even more about the infancy of Jesus that we didn't even talk about yet. All this information would have had to come from a close member, because it's just too much detail to ignore. Too much detail. Unless you just like fighting with facts. I don't know. Maybe people like to fight with facts. I don't like to fight with facts. Right? I like to understand. I like to explore. Like, this is incredible. Family, I just have to tell you this. I'm going to end with this. We live in one of the most amazing times in all of human history. Why? Because you have the internet and you have access to and you can read, probably, right? Most modern humans can read. It's astounding. Because it used to be that the common people like us, just regular people, we wouldn't have been able to read. And they would have just gathered in the town square and they just pull out the scroll and read to us. Or we go to the temple and we just sit there and we read to us, and we would have to accept that this is the word of God because that's all we knew. We couldn't, you couldn't tell. I hope they're telling us the truth. I don't know. Does it sound right to you? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. You would have no way of checking it. Now you can check. You can go and you can do all of your own independent research at the tip of your fingers, touching a device. Now that is astonishing. Why would this information be coming to you? Because Spirit trusts you to do something incredible with this information. Something incredible. Spirit trusts you to step up now during humanity's awakening and use this information to awaken self and others. That's why you're receiving this information. This is not just frivolous conversation we're having here, just talking about things that are, ooh, ancient secrets, ooh, how titillating. It's so much more than that. It is about the evolution of humanity. It is about finding all of these ancient things coming to our minds. Before, they used to try to hide this stuff. They would pull something out of the ground, and they're probably still hiding some things that are going to be developed and shown to us. They would pull things out the ground, and someone would call an antiquities dealer, or someone would call a rich person, and the rich person would pay this money for it and smuggle it here. Do you know that they found some of these texts by them trying to be smuggled out of the country? Unbelievable. Things that are here for all humanity. And guess what? Spirit wouldn't have it. Spirit wouldn't have you and I be blind. Spirit wouldn't have us be ignorant. And God is not a God of confusion. That would have never happened. So Spirit is enlightening us. Why? So that we can use this ancient wisdom, these secrets that have been here for millennia, time immemorial, so that we could use this for our own evolution and for the evolution of humanity. Humanity needs you now more than ever. They're shooting up people with something that they call a vaccine to coronavirus. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's in it, but they're in an awful big rush to get everybody to take it. That is a red flag for me. Now, I don't know about you. I'm not here to talk about that. That's not what I'm talking about. I mentioned that as one sign that there's a lot going on for humanity right now that we can do something about. That humanity has been wrapped up in a lot of fear. We can do something about that. That humanity has been told a lot that certainly isn't true. And that we know it's not true if we check within. If we go in and we check with our intuition, we can see, ooh, that doesn't feel quite right. Something's not right. You have that. You have that sense when something's right and when it's not quite right. You can feel it. Go with that sense. But not if you're drowned out by always being on technology, or always being on social media, or always eating artificial food, or always taking all the pills from the doctors, or always doing all of the things that modern science would have us do. I'm not against science. I love science. I love logic. I know that God, or source, as nature, is our teacher and guide. So if it does not work according to the rules of nature and according to the rules and laws of this whole cosmos, no. God gave us a guide. God didn't leave us here dumb or ignorant or lost or without the inner knowing and the intuition and the spiritual tools and nature and everything else we require to live on this planet, this life that you're living, to elevate your soul and to be abundant and happy and joyful and fulfilled and have love in your life and health and vitality and deliciousness of all kinds. Name your deliciousness and have it. You have the tools for that, because that's what we give here on this channel. All right. Yes, I love it. I love all the conversation. I was supposed to tune in today. Yes, thank you from my sister. Oh, absolutely. Idella. Hi. Oh, that's my Inner Visions family. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm so happy that you're here. And you know what? I finally family. Hey, Kathy. Oh my God. We got a foot of snow coming tonight here. Oh my goodness. Kathy, you're coming from my home in New York. It wasn't upstate New York, but I grew up in Harlem. I was born and raised in Harlem, New York City. For the first, 28, 30 years of my life. I say 30 because at 28 we moved, and then I was kind of back and forth for the next couple of years, almost still living in New York. I was there so much. Oh my goodness, I do not miss the snow. Kathy, let's send you a blast of love and warmth from Miami. A blast of love and warmth from Miami. Kathy, oh my goodness. I love you. I love you. I love you. Tatiana. Hey, love. How you loving, Tatiana? How you loving? I'm so happy that we got to have this discussion. And family, with this information, there's something to do. Okay, there's something to do with this information. Act on it. Study it, share it. Even if you're talking to people that are very Christian and they don't want to hear it, you can just ask a question. Hey, have you ever heard of the Gospel of Thomas? Have you ever thought about reading the Gospel of Thomas? Anything like that. We don't want to proselytize and we don't want to hit people over the head. But guess what? That's not the move either, because people automatically go defensive, and we don't want people to be defensive. We want people to be open. And if they're receptive to hearing about it, beautiful. By all means, share this vid. Be sure to subscribe on the YouTube channel at ValerieLoveTV.com, and be sure to follow us, because soon in January, we're going to be doing an incredible new 40-day challenge in January, 40 Money Secrets. Now, I know you probably have my book, 40 Money Spells. Well, let me start off with the first one, 40 Money Mantras, 40 Money Spells, 40 Money Scriptures. 2021 is going to be your year of deliciousness beyond anything you could ever have comprehended or imagined or asked for or hoped for. It's all here for you. So we're going to start off the year with a brand new challenge, 40 Money Secrets. The book comes out, and we start right here on the YouTube channel on Valerie Love TV at 12 noon Eastern Time. And we're going to be on for 40 days, Monday through Friday. Not on the weekends. I got to have a little rest and a little play on the weekends with my peeps. We're going to be on Monday through Friday, 12 noon, and another incredible challenge, which is going to be 40 Money Secrets, coming up starting on the new moon, the first new moon of 2021. Let's elevate 2021 and use 2020 as a ladder, and let's go all the way up. I love you. God bless you. Kaisi out. Peace. So much fun. Come on, family. I love you. God bless you. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.